First one is default constructor. Okay. Without creating a constructor, I'm just making default constructor. The first point is what we can do without creating a constructor. By default, .NET CLR will create its own constructor. By default, .NET CLR creates its own constructor. How do you know that, sir? How do you prove that, sir? Is it a default constructor or not? Let me show you. See, I'm going to my .NET Visual Studio. On that day, I had shown you, right, how the MSIL code will be generated. Everybody can able to see that, right? Now I'm going to show you that as well. File, new project. Next, not Windows. Go back. Console app, .NET framework. Next, sample underscore default underscore constructor is my project. Okay, I'm creating a project. Will you able to hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Now here I'm trying to create a class called father. Okay, I'm creating a class called father. Right click, add new item, select the classes, father. Now I created a class called father. I got my point. Here, I'm not creating any constructor. Int add int x, comma, int y. Okay, which return x plus y. I got my point. Now I'm building the project. Whether this class is as a constructor, the father class as a constructor. No, by seeing outside, will you able to confirm that you will have a constructor? No, right? Now, what I'm planning to do, I'm going to open an MSIL, IL assembly. How do I take that path? Where is it? Okay, leave it. ఎవరికో ఆ పాత్ పెట్టేనే ఇది మీ క్లాస్. Simply I go and search in PC. See program 665 Microsoft.NET ఉందా, in which you will go, I think not this, yeah. See Windows Microsoft.NET assemblies GAT32. ILDASM. Yeah. Yeah, you must build. On that day I showed you, right? నేను చూపించాను కదా. ఒక్కోసారి గుర్తుండదు ఆడుంటుందో అది. నోట్స్ లో పెట్టలేదు ఆ పాత్ని. గూగుల్ మాతాజీ. ILDASM path. See program files, Microsoft. There you go. See program files, Microsoft SDK. There you go. That Windows, in that version A, in that bin, in that you have tools. There you can see, there you go. You see, this is the path. Let me keep this in handy in all the places. So I can put this ILDASM path. Okay. Now, when you open this, you see I got this DASM. This is the assembler. Now, you see in the code, I never had constructor. Okay, but if you come here, open, go to E drive, VAT.NET batch 3, code snippet, sample default constructor, bin. In that one, you got two classes. You see, there is a father class in the constructor as well as program class. In the father class, you could have seen a constructor here. .ctor. By default, framework C# program automatically can create its own constructor. Or you got my point? So there are two types of constructor: implicit constructor, explicit constructor. So your default constructor always treated as a implicit constructor. So can I say default constructor always be treated as implicit constructor? Or you got my point? When I say implicit, system defined constructor. I got my point. What is system? .NET framework system. I got my point. System defined constructor. Priti, you understand?
Yes,
Priti
sir.
and Nitin.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is called default constructor. Now coming to public constructor. Okay, so what is your first point to make a public constructor? Yesterday's example, what I explained and the app config, you are reading the data, right? Okay, so first point is constructor name is same as class name, right? So here I'm going to use like this. Constructor name is same as class name. This is my first point. Whether this constructor has any return type. Whether constructor has any return type, at least void or int, no. So the constructor may not have any return type. That is your second point. So what is your second point? Priti? Constructor doesn't have any, does not contain any return. Okay. And then what is the purpose of using a public constructor? To read any configuration values, we need to use public constructor. Example, fourth point, in app.config, we are adding a app setting key and value pair, right? So go to here in the solution explorer, you see there is an app config. Will you all able to see this? In that, you are going to use app settings. In that, you're going to add key equal to general value. General value equal to 20. Okay, so this will be available outside the project. This app config will be available outside the project. I got my point. Now I'm going to read this value dynamically in your code. For that, in the father.class, using system.configuration, I'm going to use a namespace. Okay, so here the step 5 is include system.configuration namespace, which will help us to read the app setting key and value. Have you got my point? App setting key contain values, right? So how to read that key contain value? In the father class, I'm using a configuration, right? Here I'm going to say configuration. Simply I can put like this: system dot configuration settings or app settings. In the configuration settings dot app settings. I got my point. Since I already used this configuration, I don't need to use this. I included here namespace. So here I'm going to provide a key. What is my key of app settings? What is my key of app settings? Copy. In the father, I'm using this. Right? Now here I'm declaring a private variable. Why I'm declaring a private variable? Int general value. Now this general value I'm going to read from here is equal to convert dot. Why I am using convert dot means the configuration value from the app setting when you read, it will be considered as a string. So you have to explicitly convert that string into integer, and then that integer value will be assigned into general value. Right? So general value is equal to convert dot to in 32, and then I'm using configuration dot app settings. Now build the project. Wait. Let me clean and build. Clean solution, and then try to build the solution. Okay. Because of this clean solution, then try to build the solution. Okay. Now build it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass this general value here. I'm going to pass this general value here. Right? Now go to program.cs file. I'm going to create father underscore father equal to new of father, and then console dot write line. Enter the first number. Right? Console dot. Now, before you enter the first number, what you need to do? You need to declare two variables. Do I need this? No need. Remove. Okay, so you have to declare two variables. What is int first value equal to 0, int second value equal to 0. Now, first value equal to convert dot to int of 32 console dot read line. Okay. Now, similar fashion, you add another value and say here second number. And then you can say here second value. Now, console dot write line of the sum of 0, comma, and you can concatenate like this. And result is comma, enter first value, comma, second value, comma, father dot add method, pass your first value comma, pass your second value. So what will happen? It will call this first value from the variable what you are assigning, and it will also use the second value what the variable is assigning. And this method will execute and return a result. That result will be assigned in this particular position. I got my point. Now, simply I can say console dot readline. So what is the value I had put in the config file? Pratik, what is the value I had there in the config file? So if I pass start, I'm giving 20 is my first number, 10 is my second number. When I enter, what is my result? Because I'm reading value from the config and I'm also adding the two numbers. So it should be 50. Now see, you could have asked me, sir, I'm passing 20 and 10, but how come I'm getting the 50? Only because of you are reading value from the configuration. Okay, so let me prove you in the code level. I had put a breakpoint in the father. Run. Function F11. See, it is reading the value from the configuration. It is reading value from the configuration.
Yes.
One second. Hello. Office. 11 11కి వస్తా. Okay. So I got the 20 and I got 10. I got the value. So this is called public constructor. Now you understand when you go for public constructor, something you need to build on your own logic in constructor. Something you need to build your own logic on constructor. Or before creating object, you need to set some values within a class. Within a class, you can go for public constructor. Or you got my point? Practically speaking, what is public constructor? You will simply say, before creating an object, a class name, a constructor will be executed. For that, we are going to hold some configuration. But logically speaking, still we can write some notes. Sixth point, we can implement certain logics before creating an object of a class. Before creating an object of a class, object of a class is known as public constructor. Right? So this is called public constructor. Now the third one is parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. So what this constructor is going to do? What this parameterized constructor will going to do? Here, the same program, I'm going to read value from the user, from the instance. Integer, general, value. Okay. Now, instead of reading the value from the configuration, I'm going to use the value from the value which are passing from the object. So only difference, no difference at all. Correct? Only difference. Only difference is you are passing the value as a parameter before you are creating an object. Now, if you look into the program.cs file, you see an error. You see an error. What it is saying? What is the saying? You see here, what is that saying? There is no argument given that correspond to the required argument because my constructor expecting a value. My constructor expecting a value. So what I will do? I'll pass 20. I'll pass 20. The moment when I pass 20, it will work or not? Sir, can I have both public and parameter constructor in a single class? Yes, you do. Yes, you do have. I will show you. You have this. Now, I'm cutting this one. Okay. Just we can see public father of paste. Now you can have two father classes, two father constructors. I have two father constructors. Now I'm going to create private int con value. Why I'm giving con value? I'm getting value from the constructor. So I'm putting here underscore con value. Priti, are you understand what I'm talking? Priti?
Yes, sir.
See, if you are not understand, let me know. Okay. I'm
Yes,
getting
sir.
a con value, general value. Now, if you see, I'm putting a breakpoint of this and breakpoint of this. Which constructor will execute? Say it is executing only the, it will execute only the parameterized constructor. It will not execute the public constructor. Okay, now you have a chance whether you need to call a public constructor or whether you need to call a parameterized constructor. In a class, you can maintain a number of constructors. You can maintain private constructor, you can maintain parameterized constructor, you can maintain non-parameterized constructor, everything you can maintain. But at the time of creating an object, you will decide that which constructor you need to be executed. How depth is, right? Huh? Is it very depth? You need to carefully understand. So that's all. It is not executing my public constructor. It is not executing my public constructor. I'm passing 12, passing 11, 23. Right? Because my general value is 0. Because my general value is 0. Why? Because general value I need to read from the config. But at the time of creating the object and passing a parameter, it is not executing my app config value. Instead, it is executing this value. But I'm not assigned the con value. So that my x plus y general value is 0 means what is the x I'm given? 12. What is my y I given? 11. What is my general value? 0. 12 plus 11, 23. It is executed or not? So this is cut. So now come to the point here. The same these 2 points. will not have anything required. Right? Third point is we need to pass a variable or value in the constructor as a parameter. As a parameter. Got it? We need to pass a variable or value in the constructor as a parameter. Okay. Fourth point. We can create both public parameterized constructor, public parameterized constructor in a single class at the same time. Single class at a same time. But fifth point, when we create an object, depends on the constructor method call, depends on constructor call, it will decide which constructor should be invoked or which constructor should be executed at runtime. Executed at hello. Hello. Executed at runtime. So this is called copy constructor. 1 second. Okay. So this is called what? Parameterized constructor. Clear my point? Priti, you got the point? So
Yes.
tomorrow, I'm going to talk about copy constructor, private constructor, static constructor. I got my point. And then Friday, I'm going to talk about inheritance. Huh? Second point date also. Huh? Private constructor can become a singleton pattern. Okay. Anybody have any questions so far? Priti or anybody? Feel free to ask me a question, I will answer. Any doubts so far, Priti? Say, I don't want to dump you, that is why I'm stopping. Priti, are you there?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to dump you people. If I dump, what will happen? Again, complete copy constructor. Again, I will go to private constructor. My
Yes.
1 hour will be there, but I don't want to dump it.
Yes.
Tell me what you have any doubt. I have 7 minutes. You can ask your doubts and clarifications with respect to object oriented. I can explain. Any doubts so far? And who will help me to come this notes as a document? I'm already prepared some documents. I will show you, which is helping me and Chaitanya. Word, at least we can discuss this. This is how I'm preparing the document. Okay. Introduction to C Sharp, why C Sharp, C Sharp.net, and how to create a DLL in C Sharp.net, which I have given all the steps. How to create exe in C Sharp.net, I given all the steps. It will produce both DLL in the bin folder. DLL cannot be executed. To execute DLL, we need exe project. And then main method. And then data types in C Sharp. All the data types which we built it, everything will be added here. Okay. Got sense? So now we need to work on, I will give you this document. We need to work on that structure and then class, object, and then value type constructors. We need to work clear it by end of this week. Okay. Once that has been done, we can go for inheritance, polymorphism, abstract class interface, everything. Second. This actually what happened is here. We have to create operators and arithmetic, relational, logic, usually binary operator. All operators we can put this. Yeah. That's enough. Okay. And then you will have conditional control system. That program that has it actually after that, probably when you go for class, structure, method, that we need to start with it. Whatever the class we are teaching in the class, this notion was once you fill this document can become a source of truth for every student what you do. Like the way for all the courses we can build this thing. If it makes sense. Hello.
Hello.
Does it make sense, the document?
Sir, are you told something? Your voice is not breaking.
No. I'm saying whether this document is good or bad.
Yes, sir. Good.
Okay. See, agenda is to complete entire stuff. We should have everything as a document. Okay. It's 23. It will take 100 pages, sure. C#.NET 150, I'm expecting. With respect to ADO.NET, everything. Everything. One OOPS itself will take 50 pages. Program, code snippet, everything. Okay, we'll do that. Anyway, thank you guys. We'll meet you on tomorrow.